Can we pull the Duel? This card is so good, and it fits so well in Chimera, and I want to show you how to actually pull that off. This card is anti-spell on legs, and let's just get right into it, and maybe try to open a few packs to see if we can pull the Duels ourselves. All right, so there's the new Trickstar cards, the new Gimmick Puppet cards already. Nice Swamp Mirror for the Silhouette Rabbit. That's honestly pretty toxic if you ask me. Let's go. We have our first Silhouette Trick. The Gimmick Puppet stuff is here. So basically, Legacy of Destruction is fully integrated within the Master Duel now. And also, White Forest, which is Infinite Forbidden. And also all the new Trickstar cards, which are supposed to only be here in the TCG, I think, in January or February. We got our first UR here. Let's go. Let's go, man. Come on, upgrade it. No. Okay, so already 3 packs in, 4 packs in, we got our Duels. Now we can put it to test in our Chimera deck and show you how to just this card is so toxic, to be honest. So good. And it gets even better with the Fiendsmith cards. It gets better with the Azamina cards, which is down the line, but honestly, it's a really incredible card, and I'm really happy that it's finally here in Master Duel. So now that we have our copy of Duels, we can get right to deck building. Let's go over the deck, the overall strategy, and then, of course, we're going to jump into some games and see how this deck performs. So, 44 cards. We're combining basically 3 engines here. We have about 12 hand traps that are also really good for Crossout and Call by the Grave. Of course, sometimes this deck will die to single Ash, so Crossout and Call by is important, but since we are combining it with multiple engines and the Patchwork engine that allows us to continue playing even after we get hand trapped, this deck is extremely balanced. So 3 Valor, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Tau. This is another really good way that we can use to summon Duels from the graveyard. So Duels is the main addition to Chimera in the newest set, and it can special summon itself when you have a Sinful Swells card in your graveyard or your opponent's. You just special summon that once per turn. So if your opponent has on Snake Eye or Fire King and they have a Wanted in the grave, you can just special summon this for free, and then you basically turn off all their hand interactions that are, quick plays or traps. Now, your opponent must set spells and traps before activating them. So once you put this on the board, no imperm from the hand, no evenly matched, and basically no quick plays for a turn, right? And then they also have to set their normal spells. So essentially they will usually bait you with 1 normal spell, so you can pop it with Duels. Once it becomes set, you can target one of your cards, one of their cards, and just destroy them. You don't have to target the set card even. But sometimes, if you don't take the bait, they can set 2 so they can start playing, so they can flip up the second one, and then you can just Guardian Chimera them. You don't even have to Duels them, and you took 2 of their cards without basically doing anything, and of course drawing a card as well, and hopefully summoning Duels. So this is the power of Duels. So Tau is one way to summon it. The Patchwork Engine, 2, 2, and 2. 3 starter, 3 starter, 3 starter, and only 1 Baphomet. You don't need another one at the moment. 3 Nightmare Apprentice. This is one of the new cards as well from the latest set, the one before rather. Special summon by discarding, so combining that with Edge of Chain is just incredible. And on summon, it just searches any illusion monster. This card has a very bright future within the game, and of course it can search for Duels. Now Duels, we went over it. We have the Horus engine with 1 Dwamutef just because it's a beast, makes it easier to resolve your Chimera Fusion. We went over this, 1 King Sark, 2 Call by 1 Crossout, 3 Chimera Fusion, and 3 Imperms. Now for the extra deck, you only need 1 of this. This is great for your 1-card combo, ripping out a card from your opponent's hand, and then Baphomet allows you to send something like Tau to the graveyard to summon your dead Duels. Dragostapelia is good. Chimera, the Illusion Beast, to finish off games. Magnum the Reliever for an extra pop and a draw and recycling your polymerization so you can reuse your Patchwork, and of course Guardian Chimera. Now, Chaos Angel, we don't use any tuners here besides Ash Blossom and honestly Valor as well, but the cool thing about this is that if you special summon Apprentice and just normal summon Mirror Swords Knight, you can turn both of them into an unaffected, indestructible Chaos Angel. And that is very, very powerful in this deck. And since this effect to banish one card on the field is not on Synchro Summon, even if it gets outed, you can return it with Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, and banish another card. Some cards for our rank 8 engine. This is great because it gets you to your engine as well. And of course, a monster negate if you already have everything. Typhon is a fiend. Cross Sheep can help you extend and go up to Appaloosa. Basically, if this has a fusion monster that it points to, and you summon another monster or that fusion monster to an arrow it points to, you can summon a level 4 or lower monster from your graveyard. So essentially, you can make this into an Appaloosa with like 2 cards. Muckracker to revive your very good fiends, and SPL Knight. Now this is the deck. I believe this is currently the best build and the most like well-rounded build before Fiendsmith cards arrive to the game. Horus lets you extend. The Bells, Nightmare Apprentice is just awesome. And I think we should jump into some games. We go first. Going first with this deck is really strong. Obviously, it has really good board breaking capabilities with the Horus Engine Guardian Chimera. But also going first, ripping a card out of your opponent's hand is very strong, guys. It's very, very strong. So we have a pretty solid start here. Even though these are technically 2 bricks, we have the Kodal to start extending. We're going to be adding Mirror Swords Knight here because we don't really care getting locked into fusions this early. But we're gonna be extending a lot. Thankfully, we have the crossouts because 1 Ash would have stopped us here, but it seems like our opponent is kind of sleepy right now. Briffamat. Search 2 cards, which is pretty incredible. And we're going to be able to unlock a few really cool things here because we're going to use the Edging Chain. We're going to get another monster and another polymerization. So the card advantage is going to be significant. First of all, though, we have to rip a card out of our opponent's hand. But we are going to not use the Berfamet yet. Not use it yet because we want to use it for other things. So Edgimp and Gazelle from the hand. We're already locked into fusions. So in this case, we're not going to be able to access like Appaloosa or stuff, but there are a ton of lines that you can make from this deck. We have Chimera, 1, and then Gazelle 2, and we're also going to have ourselves the Edging Chain. So we're going to be adding about 4 cards in total to the hand now. All right, let's resolve it, add Patchwork, which grabs us another Fiend and another Poly. Gazelle is going to grab us a copy of Nightmare Apprentice, which we can use as well. And then Chimera is going to rip a card during the end phase. Now, Patchwork. Very easily take care of that. Get ourselves a Poly and Edging Chain. And now we basically make a Performate. We don't even need to use the Apprentice, to be honest. Right now, we can just keep it for follow-up. We can do that. We can either go for a Magnum here, but I do want to get Diabells like right now, so we can get hit with an Evilly or something. Yeah, let's go for that. Then we're going to be able to send Tau. Tau is going to bring back the Swords Knight. We're going to get more cards. So that's going to be 1, and then Berfamat is going to bring back our Diabells. There we go. I think it's fair to put that in defense. Our opponent is on 47 cards, so it's probably not 10 pi. But it's always good to go defense here. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And then we're going to send Tau. That is going to get us. So we only accessed basically the Chimera engine, but the Edging Chain engine is just like OP in this deck, to be honest. Now we have ourselves Chimera Fusion back to the hand. We can add it to the hand because we control the Chimeras. And now, good luck to our opponent. We don't, since we're locked into fusions early, we don't. But imagine we weren't. You can make a cross shape here, bring back, make a Appaloosa. Honestly, very easily. We're gonna rip one now, see what our opponent is playing. And it's vampires. That's it's interesting. That's interesting. We're going to be using Mirror Swords Knight shortly. You can do that in the draw phase. It doesn't really matter because we have Diabells. So now they're going to be forced to set their spells. We're not going to take the bait on this one. We are fine with a 1. They can probably set another even. If they do, we go for Chimera. Oh! Okay, that's fine, actually. I think that we still are able to do a lot of damage. It's fine. So everything goes. We have this. Now, this one can bring back... This one... Target a card on the field, send a Dark Vampire. When a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard. Okay. So, we're going to bring back... Diabels. And then we're going to chain Baphomet to bring back the Chimera so that we have a negate. So that's why that's fine because we have like graveyard interruption. You know, it's still vampires, right? It's not something we really have to be concerned about. So we lost half the board, but we didn't use any interactions yet. Like we didn't use any effects. Okay, we have the familiar here. If this card is special summon, if this card is in your graveyard. Okay, so I don't see a way for it to go to the graveyard right now. End of main. Straight to the end phase. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and go for a Chimera OTK here. No protection, right? Gains 500 attack during damage calculation. And yeah, let's look at the OTK here. This is a nasty combo. Now check this out. Can use Apprentice. I think we can chain block as well. Add more cards to the hand. And this is like the very basic. You saw like how much we can extend using the engine, that we can actually access our links. If you have more gas, don't go for Baphomet. Just go for Gazelle. Go minimal. It is absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Now we're gonna Chimera Fusion for our big boy. Gonna go for 1, 2, 3. This is already 3 attacks, so we can confirm that. And that's going to be basically game. Our opponent really didn't play much, but, you know, it's just like understanding the basics of the game. Now they're probably thinking it's not a game, but it is. Let's hope this guy doesn't have any effects. Okay, so 0 out and negate, and then attack 2 more times, and 1 more with Diabels is enough. Oh, it actually gets another 500 from the field spell. Yeah, that's kind of just like ramming it. It's pretty powerful. This is basically the deck. I think the build is really good. Experiment with it. Understanding the lines with cross sweep is kind of complicated, so make sure you experiment. I think the extra bodies with Edge and Chain the Horse and just fantastic. And thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment below if you want me to do more Master Rule content. I always get these comments, and I try to do it when it's interesting and relevant to the decks that I like. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.